Hello and welcome back to LFC News. So another disappointing result for Liverpool again last night, a 1-1 draw to Sunderland. Now, it was always going to be a tough game. I think we all expected that given our form and given how well Sunderland seem to be doing in the Premier League so far. But it's still not ideal failing to pick up 3 points against a team really we should be beating. But yeah, in today's video, we have some huge Arne Slot news to go over after the disappointing result to Sunderland. But before we do, make sure you do like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. So let's get into our first story today, and it's going to be about Cody Gakpo. Now, Cody Gakpo has caused quite a lot of controversy among Liverpool supporters. A lot of fans are wondering why this guy still gets played. He really hasn't been the player we expected to sign from PSV. And I think he's really gone under the radar a little bit because he's sort of done, like, you could say, the minimum. You know what I mean? Like, he's not gone above and beyond. He's not torn the Premier League up. He's arrived and he's sort of like just done enough. And I think a lot of fans now are starting to get a bit frustrated with Gakpo because it's clear Arne Slot favours the fellow countryman. So Arne Slot here has explained Cody Gakpo's struggle in area that frustrates Liverpool fans. So let's get into what Arne Slot said after the game. The Dutchman trademark move, cutting inside onto his stronger right foot, is now readily anticipated by opponents and becoming a growing concern. So that is the issue of like playing right-footed players on the left and left-footed players on the right. It's like you become very predictable. Unless you're Iron Robin, it is very predictable what you're going to do. And it's very hard to actually disguise it, but we're going to see what Arne Slot has to say here. In my opinion, Cody struggled to dominate the 1v1s, he told reporters in his post-match press conference. If you want to have any chance against any team in a low block, then the way you score is quite simple. You need a moment of magic from a player or you need a set piece. I feel in the first half, Cody struggled to find that moment because it was hard for him to dominate the 1v1 or get crosses in. Which I understand, like, it's not an easy job to do, especially against a low block. But at the end of the day, it's his job. Football's gone in a way over the past 10, 15 years where it's like you can't have any individuality about you anymore. Like, you've got to fit a system or you're just not getting played. And it's like you don't have players about anymore that have that individual quality. You have a player who gets told to do a job and does that. And it's like 10, 15 years ago, you're not going to have a problem with finding a player who can beat a low block because you have players who specialise in beating a man one-on-one. And you don't have that now because it's like, oh, you'll be impressed, make this pass. And it's like players are discouraged to actually take players on now. And it's very sad to see because it's like it's a lost art in football now. And you find a lot of games are very repetitive. But then he goes on to say, in the first half we played Szoboszlai off the right to be defensively strong enough not to concede as much as we did in the last few weeks. So I changed it to Mo on the right and then played a midfielder, Florian Wirtz off the left. Like I said, we hardly conceded, but it was throughout the whole game difficult to create that moment of magic. And from the set pieces, we only had one close. I think it was Macari at the post. We had enough, especially in the end of the second half, but we didn't score. But that's a big complaint I'm seeing about this game, and something I thought myself when I watched it was like we threw away the first half. It was like Arne Slot wanted to try something different. The players had no idea what he wanted to try, and then we just sort of threw away that first half. And then in the second half, it was like, oh, we actually need to try and win this game. Yeah, it was a rough game to watch. But on the bright side, Chiesa came on and he was phenomenal, and I hope that is going to be the start of Chiesa potentially getting more game time. But we're going to get into our huge Arne Slot news now. So obviously a disappointing result, and a few days ago we did report that there was an alleged emergency meeting regarding Arne Slot to do with his position at the club. And then you had pundits like Jamie Carragher saying, like, over the next 3 games he needs to prove that he is the right man for the job. Stuff like that. And this came out after the game last night. It's from the same source, Italia News. Exclusive emergency meeting, the senior players confused, which is blatantly obvious, really. We were at Anfield tonight and we got some insider information from a trusted LFC source. It turns out Arne Slot was informed in an emergency meeting last week that his job is on the line due to the team's poor performances. If Liverpool don't secure a win against Leeds, another emergency meeting is set for Monday morning, which is huge. I mean, Leeds beat Chelsea 3-1, so that's potentially going to be a tough game for Slot, especially if this is true. And could this mean this could be Slot's last game? Which would be huge. And it I guess it suggests that maybe Liverpool have someone else lined up for the position. Because I think it'd be stupid to sack him and not have anyone lined up. But it goes on to say, what's really concerning is the senior players are feeling confused about the manager's tactics, which seem to change daily. I mean, that's something we noticed yesterday. Like I said earlier, that first half, it was like Slot wanted to try something and the players had no idea what he wanted to try. It's like, it's almost as if he's gone into the change room and gone, oh, I've got this new idea, and they're just not told him the idea. Like, it was baffling. And like, I've been looking on social media this morning and it seems like fans are saying the exact same thing. Like, it was just confusing to watch. It was a very, very weird first half, but the lack of clarity is affecting the team's morale and performance on the pitch. Fans are anxious, and it's clear pressure is mounting. The next few days are critical for Slot and the club. So I mean, whether this is true or not is another thing, but let's just say it is for now. This could be huge for Slot, and it makes the game against Leeds even more important than it already is. Our season has completely, this title defense has been a failure, really. So with this added pressure, if it is true, this could be a defining moment in the season for Liverpool. But we'll just have to see what happens at the weekend. But that is all for today's video. Let me know your thoughts on these stories down in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.